Hi everyone. In today's video, we are going to discuss how monolith can become a problem and how we can strategize and plan for migrating our monolith to a microservice based architecture. So without further ado, let's focus on the issues first. So we'll be discussing when a monolith starts to hurt real problem in our e-shop. So we have already created our e-shop application and orders we are able to create, and we have used a sort of a different layered architecture, but still it's a monolith. So what we need to see where we are. Basically, we are having our ASP.NET Core MVC application where we do have a single backend application, and it's more of a clean and I would say layered architecture. We have tried to segregate each and every layer. The UI layer is separate and the DB layer is separate. So it's more of a layered architecture. Only a single database. Single database, when I say we have kept a separate database for the identity, but for orders, catalog, and payments, each and everything, a single database is there and a single deployment unit is there. So whole application is deployed in a single code. So what is going to happen when this system is going to like become big? What problem we are going to face? Basically, we are going to see more users coming in. We are going to see more traffic like coming to this website. New features needs to be added. More developers from a development standpoints are getting onboarded to maintain this system, and we might need to release more in case if we are focusing on just this monolith. So for every change, we need to release it. So what's the problem? Problem one, what we are going to face is a tight coupling between domains. If we look at the domains, basically order itself depend upon like a basket, products, inventory, and the payment. So if there is a small change, so it will be rippling across the system, and it's hard to change one thing safely because it's very tightly coupled. The second thing, if we do just one change, we have to deploy it fully. Like fixing one bug just requires redeploying everything. So this is another problem. Any unrelated feature share deployment risk. Why is it so? Like if you have changed something and there might be some impact on other area, it could get affected because we are deploying end-to-end whole thing. So there are high chance of production incidents. It's being said, like in a monolith, unrelated features share the same blast radius. Why? What does a blast radius means? Blast radius itself is the extent of damage or impact which can be caused by a failure or a change in the system. So if there are like two features which are not related, and if you just change one, and for some reason a bug arises in that, so other features or goes down as well. The second thing is like scaling the wrong things. Let's say if there is a sales season, so only checkouts and orders will be getting a spike, but the product browsing will remain same. But as a MVC application, we have to scale the whole application. So this is one more issue. So you have to scale the whole thing. You can't just focus on one area. The fourth problem is that there is no team boundaries. Let's say everyone is working in the same code base, and in case changes are done on a specific file, so there are more chances of getting any merge conflict, and ownership itself become unclear because everyone is working on every area. So it's just like the change itself was slow down. So if you are solo today, design for growth. The thing is, like if you have boundaries, you can assign one team to focus on that boundary and other teams not to focus on other boundaries. And a very important context in microservices is bounded context. Like we need to identify the domains and how we can segregate or separate those domains. Like we have a product domain, we have an order domain, we have a payment domain and a basket domain. So these domain change for different reasons, and they are not they are somehow interrelated, but they could be scaled differently. Like payments have a separate domain. Payment integrations might be very different if a new payment integration comes. So there is no possibility, or there is no reason for changing the product domain as well. So this is the reason we are trying to segregate things. And what these are problems are like telling us, the system is no longer small. Despite our application over here is a bit small and it's not a very production ready application, but we are experimenting and we are trying to see when the system scales and when the system go bigger, what sort of problems we face and how we are going to transfer or change a monolith to a microservices based architecture. And even some domains need independence, as I just said, like if we need to keep doing payment integrations on a very fast pace, so then having a separate microservice for payment integration will be a good reason and good choice to do. And not everything needs to scale together. If needs to acquire more orders, so order related microservice needs to be scaled. What we are going to do, like we are going to choose our first domain to extend. We are going to create a microservice and we will try to keep a minimal impact on our MVC. So with this being said, let's just focus on our migration plan, how we are migrating and how we are planning. What we are going to do, we are going to decouple our monolith application to microservice architecture. How? Basically, we will try to like what how we are going to do, like it's going to independently scale per domain. These are the things which we have already discussed, so I'm just going to through this very fast. Safer and faster deployments, which we have already discussed, and improved maintainability and team autonomy. So let's just move over here. So current monolith architecture issues, let's discuss those. Currently we are having a single code base plus single deployment unit. See, when I say single code base, we have a single repository having all the projects. Despite we have multiple projects, but it's a singly deployable unit. We can't deploy or like extract things out, and we have to deploy it in a single go. The second thing is like database are same, like especially for the catalog DB context, the catalog is there, basket related schema is there, ordering is there, each and everything is there. Initially, we have like segregated the app identity DB context, so that will really help us because we have a different service. So basically, tight coupling do exist, and web project itself is using uh, DB context and local service, so there is a tight coupling. What we are going to do, we are going to change this MVC web and it will become a web client. Why do I say web client? Because when we will be creating independent services, our MVC application, which becomes a web client, will be consuming these services via REST API or a GraphQL. So how we are going to extract the services? We will identity service, which is already having a separate database, but is still a part of this project. We will be extracting that identity service out first. Then we have a catalog service, then we have a basket service, and then we have a ordering service. So we will gradually segregate all those services. And down the road, we might need an API gateway or event bus as well for inter-service communications. So we'll be discussing those in detail when we'll be doing it down the road. And let's just quickly discuss the responsibilities. You can see that identity itself is responsible for authentication or authorization. And we have a separate data store for that. And we are going to use, we will keep using the ASP not net identity. And later, if we need to improvise, we might need identity server. It's something written wrong. It's that identity server. So the second thing is like catalog service, which have a responsibility of product, brand, and types, and it will be having a catalog DB, simple REST API. Then we will be using basket API. It's going to be like user shopping carts, and we might introduce Redis over here for some temporary card, because we might, if we might need to retain the basket, we could have used the Redis, and we will see to it, but it is going to be a bit fast. And ordering itself, we are going to create a ordering DB, so order processing and history will be maintained over there. Then we have a plan. First, we will be trying to segregate or decompose our database logically, and then we are going to extract service one by one and defecting web client to consume those service. And we might go with containerization and orchestration to have our different apps running in different containers, allowing different I would say ports to be consumed, and we'll see to that. And we might be introducing Docker down the road. Phase one is the DB composition, which we have said, like create separate DB context per domain. And we are going to separate the DB first, and will remove cross domain foreign keys. The reason is that we are going to separate the databases. So if there are foreign keys being referenced, so one table might be referencing other. So we might need to do this as well. The second thing phase is we might create a new web API project, and we will be moving or building the REST endpoints. So this is the way we are going to do. I'll be quickly showcasing you the project, and then we will how we are going to create a sort of a folder structure over here inside this. And currently you can see there are like three projects. So what I'm going to do, I'll be creating a separate folder for services and a separate for the web. We'll be moving our services over there, and we'll be creating a web project differently. And I'll try to have those created as web APIs, but this is going to be done in the next video. So I'll be doing it from the very scratch rather than doing it right away. This is just to let you know sort of a DB, sort of a folder structure that we are going to follow. So thanks for watching till here. From the next video, I'm going to start implementing this, and we'll be doing it hands-on within our application. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe the channel. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.